Risk assessments and analysis. Risk assessment and analysis. Risk assessments can be classified into two: quantitative risk assessment and qualitative risk assessment. Quantitative and qualitative risk assessment techniques are essential components of risk management, helping organizations identify, evaluate, and prioritize potential risks. These techniques provide a systematic approach to understanding the likelihood and impact of various risks. Now we delve into the meaning and the various subcategories of both quantitative and qualitative risk assessment methods. Now, quantitative risk assessment can be further classified into two. We have risk measurement and data analysis. Risk measurement and data analysis. Now, risk measurement can be further classified into four. You have probability and impact assessment, probability and impact assessment, expected monetary value, EMV, sensitivity analysis, and Monte Carlo simulation. Now, why data analysis, which is also a class of quantitative risk assessment, can be further classified into historical data analysis and statistical data analysis. So historical data analysis and statistical models or statistical data analysis. Now, coming back to risk measurement. The first subcategory of risk measurement is probability and impact assessment. Probability and impact assessment. Now, probability and impact assessment involves quantifying the likelihood and consequences of risks using numerical scales. Quantifying the likelihood and the consequences of risks using numerical scales. For example, using a scale from 1 to 5 for probability and impact. The second is expected monetary value, EMV. This involves assigning a monetary value to each risk by multiplying its probability of occurrence by the potential cost impact. Assigning a monetary value to each risk by multiplying its probability of occurrence by the potential cost impact. That is, EMV equals probability times impact. EMV multiplied by impact. EMV equals probability multiplied by impact. The next is sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis. This involves examining the sensitivity of project outcomes to changes in individual risk factors to identify critical variables. Examining the sensitivity of project outcomes to changes in individual risk factors to identify critical variables. The fourth is Monte Carlo simulation. This involves simulating various scenarios using random sampling to estimate the probability distribution of possible outcomes. Simulating various scenarios using random sampling to estimate the probability distribution of possible outcomes. Now, data analysis. As initially said, data analysis is subcategorized into historical data analysis and statistical models. Historical data analysis and statistical models. Now, historical data analysis involves utilizing past data and historical records to quantify the likelihood and impact of risks. Utilizing past data and historical records to quantify the likelihood and impact of risks. Next one is statistical models, which involves applying statistical methods to analyze and predict potential risks, such as regression analysis. Now, the next is qualitative risk assessment. Qualitative risk assessment.